3, 6.
We're going. We're good to go.
We're good.
Back to another episode. We didn't plan this, but we are matching.
Matchy.
Just make sure that I'm looking in my direction, making sure that you're looking your direction. It's all recording. We are good to go. No, it's good. Cameras in the middle, perfect. Thank you to everyone for watching the last few episodes. It's been really fun doing these. Monday mornings are always exciting.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice to be chatting football first thing at the start of the week.
I caught a train today. I've caught 2 trains this week or this month so far. It's been a bit of an awkward one. The wife's car's in service, so I dedicated myself to catch trains. I can say that people don't talk much. It's quiet.
Training is a bit like an elevator experience. Like you're way too close to people that you don't know for a too long a period of time.
I was watching some replays and just getting up to date with today's episode. And I was watching the Spurs replay and Kulusevski, that cross that he did over to Kane. Man, I was like, I don't support Spurs, but I was like, wow. But the lady in front of me was confused while I was like, giddy.
Enjoyed it.
She was like, what is wrong with this kid?
They look great. Like you have to admit, Spurs in general at the moment are very exciting to watch.
Yeah.
Undefeated as well in the league so far.
Oh, wow.
So it's them and City are the only two to not drop points.
It's good. I like seeing squads go sort of revamped, like a coach comes in, changes everything, and we'll talk about a lot of that. I've got a few notes here to tell you, and we can talk about it. But of course, to everyone listening on Spotify, I know we can't visualize everything, but we will explain what we're wearing. If you're watching this on YouTube or on any other way illegally that you watch this, Tiny Zone.
I don't know if anyone's illegally streaming our podcast, but
if you are illegally streaming this with a VPN elsewhere, please let us know. But I'm wearing the remake, the current 100-year centenary sort of re-release for a lot of the kits for the FA. The Spew kit.
Yeah, nice.
Beautiful original kit that we have back in the days. But this is the redesign. It's inspired by the 1993 kit. Some beautiful players. And what about you? What are you wearing?
I've got the 96 to 98 home shirt. So Adidas, I guess most people sort of remember it with Harry Kill, I guess, with that it's that kind of swirly pattern through the front of the shirt.
Iconic design.
Yeah, it is, I think.
And the beautiful old Soccer Australia badge.
Yeah, it is. I love the old school badges. They're so cool. I think there's something about them, and then obviously the fact that the player spec gets a different kit for the current Australia kids.
So I don't know if you can see, we've got the home and away for the World Cup kits here. On the 22nd, I modelled a certain kit that you may see. Please do not come at me with anger because I tried my best, but I wore a gold chain. It's going to be a fun one. But yes, these are available. What date?
21st of this month.
Yep.
So at Ultra Football, and I guess their big point of difference, I guess you could say, is they've got name sets available, which is massive.
Who would you get on the back of your shirt for the current squad?
Oh, you can't go past Aaron Moy, can you?
It's funny. Everyone said that. Everyone's saying the pasty perler. I think he's one of the greatest players, but I chose Irvine.
Oh, that's actually a great shout.
Yeah.
That's a very good shout. And a big Sao Paulo supporter as well. Like that's pretty sick.
I think overall he's just one of those players that you sort of connect to.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part is also when you choose a jersey like that and you want to choose a Nike player. There's a few players in there, Moy being one of them, and of course McGree and all that. But Irvine for me definitely is one of the players.
Yeah. Hard one. It's kind of. I feel like goalkeeper kits don't get enough retail at all.
But the designs for them have not been good.
No, not for Nike. I don't think. I don't mind the Addy ones that have come out recently. They're a bit more crazy and a little bit out there. But it would be. I think this year specifically because of what Redders had done, it would have been awesome to be able to get like a Redders kit.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be. The grey one, the grey wiggle as they call him. You see the Wiggles video?
Yeah, I saw that going out during the
And have you seen all the media sort of backlash in Chile, in Peru, where they were doing the whole Redders, the circus act in the Red Bull pen? It's like they haven't gotten over it. It's almost become a curse to them.
There's a lot of salt going on there, I think. It's it's Peru, right? Like South America. And they've missed out on a World Cup because this guy dances like a hoon. Like,
it's actually funny because we've got a topic about that. We'll talk about that later. But the whole scenario with that. But before we go into any other topics, quickly, which one's your favourite, home and away?
I'm going home all day. I love that pattern. That's really nice. That base layer is
it's really a reimagining of the Spew kit. I do like it. I think a little bit more green could have been nice internally.
Yeah, possibly.
But then we don't know all the legalities with the World Cup and all that. But I do see the Nigeria kit, and I think to myself, surely we could have gone crazier.
We could have gone crazier, but I like that it's like subtle crazy because I think it kind of it taps into that, bit of homage like with the Spew kit. I think it's not too nuts where someone that's a bit more conservative will steer away from it.
Yep.
And I think that's probably why they've gone with that. I reckon, you know what, even just a green outline on the crest would have been nice.
Yeah, look, again, the player spec does have a whole different badge, so
Yeah.
there's going to be that difference. I do like the way, that sort of nice turquoisey, greeny blue, I do like. I have seen it in player spec on the photo shoot, really good. I think Nike Dry Fit Advance is beyond any other shirt. I think compared to the Adidas, it's definitely on par as one of the best shirts.
That's one thing I must admit about Nike. Their player spec is amazing,
Yeah.
but it's worlds apart from the fan spec.
100%. Nike doesn't offer a long sleeve, so it's unfortunate with that. Like you see the Germany away, home, you see that in the player spec. But overall, I think both shirts are great. It's exciting to see. If you are coming to Ultra Online, as Paul said, 21st. All right, let's get into our topics. Now, what did you watch on the weekend? Did you watch much football? I know. Did Chelsea play on the weekend?
No, we played Friday, I think it was, or Thursday.
Yeah.
We weren't great. I think it was a 1-1 draw, but yeah.
Potter's first game, was it?
It was Potter's first game. Nothing special. Yeah, we took the lead early. I think we played okay, but still a lot of room for improvement. And it's hard to know with a new manager what's going to happen. If he's going to change a lot in the first few weeks. Like, he changed the lineup quite significantly, but verdict's still out on him yet.
United didn't play. Unfortunately, the game was called off like many others. I looked at my Premier League team on the, the fantasy thread, and I was like, the 1 week I do not look at my fantasy, I was like literally second in my group with a few people. The 1 week I don't look, everyone has to change their teams.
You're sixth.
And I got I've gone from second down to 10th in a group of 20.
Well, I guess, we did have that gap week too because of the Queen. So that I think that might have thrown a spanner in the works. And I feel like there's a good percentage of people that don't pay enough attention
That's
to fantasy.
the thing. No one in my group pays attention. And then, of course, my team, Pfizer Chiefs, just goes down.
But then it's like, I feel like you get to maybe Christmas for most people.
Yeah.
And then you stop it because you're so busy with Christmas and you forget about your fantasy team unless you're dedicated. But then I feel like this is like, week off, gone, forgotten. And it's like, I forgot 1 week. Do I just give up now?
I loved it. I was really excited. This season was definitely one of my big ones. I was going to focus on it. So I got some points. So Haaland just keeps scoring.
Wow.
I've got some stats down here. 14 goals in 10 games. 100 goals in the last 99 appearances. This guy is a goal machine.
That is insane. Do you know if that spans past last season, that 99 games? Because he didn't play that much at Dortmund.
It's sort of like from before Dortmund, and it's like that 99 consecutive games.
Holy shit, that is heaps.
Yeah, he's doing well. I reckon he's on par to be a lot better than most players. If he keeps at it. Look, already at the age of only 22, I think it was, that guy has done a lot more. And he's in the Premier League scoring goals. I know there's no difference. Like, there's always a comparison between the leagues like Serie A, Bundesliga, or even the Premier League.
Yeah.
I think the Premier League, to me, is... If you can show yourself as the best player there, then it's that challenge for yourself to go elsewhere, and it could be a walk in the park.
One thing I have seen a lot of is, I guess because he's quite young still, journalists seem to asking him, what's your ambitions? What are your goals? And I think they may be coming that because, he's obviously already so good and already achieved quite a bit. But one of the funniest things, or one of the most amazing responses he gave was, I really want to go through a game and only have 5 touches, but score 5 goals.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is so cool. Like, I don't know. I just love the way this guy operates. I feel like he's such a professional. Like, there's nothing about him that screams like egotistical, or it just looks like it's hard work. I want to do well. I want to succeed, and I want to do it with a team around me. So it's, to his credit, there's nothing I can knock on him at the moment. So good on him.
Just checking the stats. So Haaland is 22. Ronaldo is 37. This guy's got a whole lifetime of a career in front of him. The ambition's not only for himself, but I think in a football way, that guy's got so much time to just do a lot more between now and then.
Heaps. And I think, one thing is too, like, there's always that comparison to Messi and Ronaldo in terms of, who's going to be the next GOAT. And I think we were blessed, to have those two. I felt like because they were so good, it almost made the gap between them and the rest so big. Whereas everyone talks about, like, the pre them, or when they were on the growth. So say like 2004, 2006, everyone was like, oh my God, those years was flooded with stars and it was amazing. Yeah, completely true. And I think the stars are still there, but I feel like because Messi and Ronaldo were so good, it made that gap kind of seem bigger.
I think overall, it's not who's going to be replacing those two players of stardom in our generation. For me, it's just amazing to see the sort of athletic side of a footballer still progress. I think that's the question that we always see, like, how fast can football change in the coming years? And so watching it from the early 90s to seeing that slow pace sort of, like, defenders and goalkeepers weren't sort of focused on, to see now defenders like Van Dijk and, Skriniar, all these other players, sort of idle. I think Vidic for me was always that early days.
Yeah, correct.
defender, Maldini's, all these kind of defensive midfielders, Gattuso's. But like, I think now as we're getting more progressive to the plays, like running so many kilometers, doing so many sort of stats on the day, like being more sort of not Olympians, but like
They're athletes.
More than just a footballer. So to see Haaland do that, that's amazing for me.
Oh, it's incredible. There's so much to like about what he's doing. So I think it's just one of those watch this space, keep eyes on watching him and see how it goes.
Moving over to Spurs now, watch the highlights on the train. So they were 3-2 in the 73rd minute, and then on the 90th minute, it was 6-2 thanks to Son scoring a hat-trick. Did you see the goals?
Yeah, incredible. What? It was within 18 minutes. Like, who scored a hat-trick in 18 minutes? I don't know, maybe Lewandowski.
There's been a lot of people.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But, like, that's still obscene, right? Like, it's still crazy. And the fact that he came and did that off the back of, he had a bit of a spat on the sidelines, I think it was last game. And it seemed like he was on the outer a little bit. And it's, this is Premier League, right? Like, it's high competition. If you're not performing, you're not going to get picked. And he stepped up, took his opportunity, and made score a hat-trick. Like, this is insane.
The 2 goals he scored, and of course the last one. But man, that guy, he's just unbelievable as well. Like I said before, Kulusevski scoring, crossing that over to Kane in the start. That team's gelled together. Dyer comes out of nowhere. He's been quiet for a bit, but I think Spurs, they had a bit of a shocking European adventure last week, and to come back to do that. Of course, Leicester might not be the best team at the moment, but still, any quality side, Premier League, or no matter what league, it's still, players playing 90 minutes.
Oh, completely, yeah. I think, look, to be honest, I think that they're shaping up to be a very, very strong squad this season. I know they had a great transfer window, brought in a lot of good players, and we mentioned that in one of our episodes.
Yeah.
But I don't see them going the whole way. I think they're going to fall just short of City. I feel like City's just too powerful at the moment.
It's way too powerful. And then, of course, we've seen Maddison's goal as well. Another player.
Yeah. Oh my God.
There was a bit of a viral tweet going live that he said that he used to hate Gareth Bale. So I think he was an anti-Spurs fan.
Okay.
And then, of course, they lost to Spurs. So it was a bit of bittersweet for him. But
the guy's class, though.
Beautiful goal.
Man, what a player.
Yeah. Again, that kid has a lot of potential. So hopefully see something change. I don't know if Leicester will stay in the Prem for a long time.
I know they released like the international break's coming up, so England announced their squad, and you have like that midfield's very hard to pick. You've got Declan Rice, you've got Mason Mount, you've got James Maddison. Mason Mount probably not in the greatest form. So
even Declan Rice is not in the greatest form.
But you can't go without him.
Yeah,
I'd say there's no other central defensive midfielder in the English squad that's anywhere near as good as him.
No, definitely. It's
James Milner.
The English, literally going to say that. I know Liverpool fans will come up after me. But I think the English squad, like I saw Tony make the squad. He's another player who's definitely probably would be moving in the next couple of years. Then again, it could be like Vardy, who stayed at Leicester, loyal. I think it was pretty good to see him.
How do you feel about Rashford not making the squad?
No, he's fine. I think he'll make the World Cup squad. He's definitely a player that will go there. But again, he does have a lot of political ties, to his sort of point of view. So who knows if he supports the whole Qatar World Cup as well. So that guy definitely would be a bit of a marketing PA type of issue for the English squad.
Yeah, no, fair enough. So obviously moving into Serie A. So there was a lot going on in Italy this week. I know obviously you're a big Inter supporter. So.
Yeah, I know. It was a 9:30 game or 9 o'clock game, and we finished watching this horror movie with my wife. And then I put on the game, and it was another horror ending for me. Good tie in there, Alex. Good work.
That's nice. Good pun.
Wow. We lost to Watford, basically. Udinese. If no one knows, they basically own the owners own both clubs.
Yes.
It's Watford.
Yeah.
Deulofeu, Pereira, all these players that played in the Prem.
Yeah.
And
like
Deulofeu for me is one of those Barcelona players from the academy who just literally has had a great career, but no one really speaks about. I think he's one of those players I used to sign on FIFA a lot because he's just one of those players that just continues doing more.
Man, he was a world beater at one point. Like everyone was saying that he was potentially in the top. Man, he would have been in the top 5 players in the Premier League at one point.
Barca makes some amazing players, like Bojan Kotikic and all that. So to see Deulofeu still smashing in the Serie A. We were 1-0 up, I think, with Barella. A beautiful goal. Did you see the free kick?
No.
Please tell me. Oh, check it out, man. What a goal. And again, that kit is beautiful. Looks so good. Then, of course, we lost to Udinese, who have the shitty version of MacArthur Bulls kit.
That's true, actually.
Nice stadium, too, though.
Is it Macron? Or Macron?
Yeah, they were. I think things gone to Calme now.
Can someone from Macron please comment on this video and tell us how to pronounce your brand's name?
Is it Macron?
Is it Macron or Macron?
Is it Macron?
I've actually... Sammy, I know Sammy, one of my mates just got a job at Macron or Macron, whatever it's called. Please comment on this and tell us what it's called.
I always think Macron, the brand, is like the president of France, or Prime Minister of France.
Macron.
Every time I say it, I'm like, oh, am I saying it wrong? But look, what a week. I know you didn't watch many replays or anything, so I'll run down quickly. So Inter lost to Udinese. disappointing for us.
Yeah.
Ambitions for the Scudetto. Milan lost to Napoli.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Napoli soon.
Well.
Atalanta haven't lost a game in 7 games, and they are, I think, top 2. So they are on a hot fire form. Juve, which I can't stand, lost to Monza, who Monza have lost to almost every team thus far. And then in Serie B, Venezia played, and their goal kit looks absolutely horrible.
Yes, how incredible. The fact that we pumped up how good that kit looked when it came out. Everyone did, yeah, true.
Yeah.
It got hyped, sold out, all that sort of stuff. But holy crap, it looks horrible on the pitch.
It doesn't look good. I know the goal kits stand out like the Arsenal one we looked at before, Canu, that is generation.
That was
Beautiful.
iconic, yeah.
Beautiful. I think it was just the baggy approach and the thicker material. But what are your thoughts? Like, if you're an athlete, would you feel awkward on the pitch if your jersey just didn't look good? You wouldn't care.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd care. Like, I've played in some stinkers, but I don't know. Like, it doesn't bother me to that degree. I think it's just a bit disappointing, I guess. I don't know why it doesn't look good. It's just something that doesn't work. I don't know what it is.
Nothing about it works. Like, I've seen the home kit looks good, but like that goal kit was too much for me. They pull some crowd at their stadium.
Of course, yeah. Of course.
But I'm hoping to see him come back up. There's a lot of hype behind him, but I don't think they're going to come up.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. I think that there's a lot of competition around the top half of Serie B at the moment too.
It's funny because people always piss on Italian football. They always say the Premier League's the best. I know we talk a lot about the Premier League. Of course, it's something that we see every day.
And it's the most popular football league in Australia.
It's the news that comes to our feed. But would you say that Serie B and Serie A is on par as one of the best football? I think Serie A is by far one of the best football.
I think it runs deep. I don't think the gap between Serie A and Serie B is that big. I think, if you look at the bottom half of Serie A and the top half of Serie B, I think they would very much compete quite comfortably against one another. Obviously, the biggest thing between any league, really, and the top half of the top division and then the top half of the second division is always going to be finances. Stability, the players they can bring in, all that kind of thing. Playing in Europe, there's a lot more that separates the best from the rest.
Name 3 teams that aren't in the Serie A that are top teams.
Top teams. Well, are you basing that on performance? Like currently, you'd say Regina Culture is
just identity. Yeah.
Identity. Ooh.
We saw a kit before. It's over there.
Yeah. Palermo we know have had a bit of a financial traumatic history,
overall, like identity-wise,
look for me, Brescia. I think Brescia's a massive Serie A club, and they're close too, which is good. They're sort of there or thereabouts. Parma's massive club.
Still haven't come up.
Yeah.
But they have the issues financially as well. It's like almost every Italian team. It's this weird ideology with Italians of being dodgy.
There is that. It's ever since that whole what's it called, the Calciopoli scandal.
Oh,
Speaking of Juve, is there something on Juve that is like? I feel like they're the Manchester United of England. Everyone loves Manchester United of Italy. No, but everyone loves when they are shit. Everyone that's not a supporter enjoys when they're rubbish.
Yeah, it's funny, but then again, I think Juve shirts don't sell well too, like around the world.
Personal experience, I can tell you they don't sell well.
Almost every Italian in Australia supports Juve, black and white, Collingwood. They're always like, I don't know, it's a weird culture behind that club. But I love seeing Juve lose. I just can't stand them. But it is what it is. And
I think that's that whole, 13 years of success or whatever it is that they had on unbeaten run. 9 of them under Conte or whatever it was, and then it was obscene, right? That's very similar to what United went through. Everyone got sick of seeing them win. I
think the Serie A we won't talk too long about it, but I love it. It's good to see Napoli do good too. I always feel like Napoli and Lazio always get forgotten. It's always about Milano. It's always about Juve, Roma. But Napoli and Lazio, doing some good things. Of course, you said Napoli have done some sort of rejigging with their team.
Yeah, well, like Toulouse was it Koulibaly, Insigne, the Belgian guy? I forgot. Mertens.
Yeah.
And you could probably throw in Hamsik as well because he was sort of like a stalwart there for a long time. That's a big shake-up.
Beautiful haircut.
Yeah, beautiful haircut.
I missed it on FIFA.
But that's a big shake-up for a club like that. And, man, they have done so well to rebuild so quickly.
No, they do well. Look, I know the episode's going to be long. Again, we live and learn every episode. We forgot our timer, so we don't know how long we're speaking about. Okay. But as always, make sure to subscribe to all our socials. Make sure to subscribe to PFC and to Talking Shirt. Mm-hmm. Next topic, I know we've seen this online. I probably should have looked at my phone. I might get that quickly. But who was it and what did they say about this EPL All-Stars concept?
Todd Bowley, Mr. US President for Chelsea. You know what? This is going to be the funny part, right? So having an EPL All-Stars game is obviously there was a lot of backlash in the UK. Mm-hmm. And everyone's going to come at us now and be like, you guys are Aussie, you don't get the culture if we say we like it. I love it. I reckon it'd be amazing. We look at the A-League All-Stars versus Barcelona. Incredible. Such a good experience. I think everyone got around it. I'd love to see the same in the Prem.
100%.
The difference for me is the fact that I think there's more of a bitter rivalry between clubs, which obviously at an international level kind of nullifies a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think there's still probably a little bit of hate. If say if you're a Tottenham supporter and a Chelsea player's in the starting lineup and he does something bad, you'll give him a bit more shit than you would if he was one of your own.
100%.
Whereas with the with the EPL All Stars, I don't think that's the case. I feel like there'd still be a bit of hostility towards it, especially being that there's so many like current country players playing in the national team that would be playing in that All Stars squad. I think it's Optus Sport that shared
I've looked everywhere for
the lineup.
I'm listening to you. I'm not being rude.
No. I know where you're going with this. But I still think it would be an awesome game to watch. Problem for me is when do they play it? Obviously, they have to play at the end of a season. Are they going to get the interest that they need?
Yeah, it would.
And but does every player participate?
This post is so hard to find. I would definitely everything you said. I would agree to. I think the hardest part is Americans love to make everything such a financial benefit for them.
Yeah.
I think Burley, that's how you pronounce his name, yeah? Mm-hmm. He's definitely seen the more financial side to it, which is probably good for the EPL. I think they kind of need that. But again, it's really to the point where how much would fans get into it? I don't think every fan would, but how much money would it bring? A lot.
Yeah.
And then it's the whole culture and the question of, isn't this the same glorified version of the old topic we had 2 years ago? The what do you call it? The Super League.
Yeah, I wouldn't say this is Super League territory because Super League essentially makes like the Premier League redundant. Not redundant, but it separates
from everything.
Those big clubs. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going into that far in.
I can't find it.
You're really struggling.
Can you find this for me? I really want to say some of the names in the squad. When was it posted? Oh man, this has been a hard one. Sorry, I should have had this up before. But I think, look, it's totally fine. The teams that they would choose, like, it would still bring a lot of media attention to the players. I think it'll bring a lot of money and revenue to local sponsors. Overall, I think it's a good idea. Like, we do see the All-Stars here play against Barcelona. It brought a lot of people. I don't think the biggest issue with this in Australia is that it sort of targets people who don't watch the round ball. Yeah, it targets people who are sort of half on the fence. They come down, enjoy a game. It's a sort of a great day for everyone. It's a great way to bring family who don't watch football. In the UK and Europe, there's not that sort of need to bring people to a game. So in America, I do understand the whole MLS All-Stars. It's a way to bring everyone together to support the league.
Yeah,
in the EPL, you would never see an Arsenal and a Tottenham player in the same squad. Like, can you imagine a Harry Kane and someone who he just like at the London Derby, or even imagine Haaland and bloody what's his name, Bruno Fernandes together?
It would be like I feel like it'd be weird, but it'd be so cool.
It'd be amazing to see some of the best, but then again, it's like it'd be so disrespectful to some of the supporters. So you've got the post up.
Yeah, so I found it. So okay,
what was the front photo? Sorry,
it was just a lineup.
Where did you find this?
It's not even that far down. I think you must have scrolled straight past.
I am literally horrible at this.
So Optus Sport have placed their North All-Star team. And obviously this is just based on someone's opinion, right? Like it could be a million other players that they could choose from, but they've gone with Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Diaz, Van Dijk, Cancelo, Rodri. Ooh, who's that? I can't see. And De Bruyne, Guimaraes, St. Max, Haaland, Salah. That is stacked. And I apologise for Guimaraes if I
found it. I found it.
Yes. And then South All Stars.
Mendy, James, Romero, Chilwell, Kante. Kante hasn't played in a while. Ward-Prowse, Rice, Son. Like, you can make an amazing squad out of this too.
Man,
There's no United players in that one. That's disrespectful. Come on, man.
Sign of the times. I seriously
Say
love...
Maxim over Sancho or someone.
Oh, current, yeah, 100%. Sorry, as a neutral for both clubs, I would take St. Max over both of them.
Yeah, I know.
I give Rashford a few weeks. I reckon he'll be the one that you pick.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
James Ward-Prowse. Can we just have like an appreciation for him? I feel like he should maybe some point be the oracle for our episodes. He's amazing and so underappreciated.
Yeah, 100%. He's one of those players I love to watch against us or against any other team in the morning or afternoon replays. Yeah. I just love watching him. Dedicated player. I think the technique in his goals are great.
Oh my God, yeah.
I wouldn't want to see him leave Southampton, but there's always going to be a team for anything below the top 7 that he might.
He'll get poached. I feel like he should have got poached at the end of last season.
Yeah, he'd end up somewhere like Tottenham in the future, or even whatever team comes in. You know what? If Newcastle was smart and they needed a new midfielder, that could be a great purchase. But overall, like, I think the All-Stars concept, East, West, West, or even if it was like if the Americans did it where it's an MLS comes over to the UK and they played an All-Stars thing.
That'd be cool.
Could be a nice way. Could be like a little mini thing.
Yeah.
Or even like a European All-Stars versus a South American All-Stars.
Yeah.
Like these are things that we see. Back in the days, like Man United just come to Australia, play against Australia. And then like weird things like that. It's like when you played on FIFA, it's like All-Stars versus Manchester United. It's like, how's the player in both teams? But I don't know. What do you think? Good or bad concept?
Yeah, great concept. I think it's perfect. Look, I'd love to see it. I know, like I said before, everyone's going to be like, "Oh, you guys are Aussie. You don't understand football culture." Blah blah blah.
In the end, it's football, and it just brings more people to the game.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things you just want to see. Like you mentioned, you want to see the best players link up, and that I think there's a testimonial game that I've mentioned actually previously. Maradona goes to play for Tottenham for Aussie Ardiles.
Yes,
game.
there was an episode,
and him and Glenn Hoddle play together, and it's like, oh man, these guys are like elite level ballers.
Yeah,
and just seeing them link up, it's like, that is pretty cool. Like,
yeah, there's that story of the Maradona in the Spurs shirt.
Yeah,
it's a good episode. Was it Mundial Mag?
Goal. Yeah, I think it's Portugal. Is a goal. What's it? Yeah, it's called Goal.
Yeah, it's a good episode. Yeah. We'll make sure we link it in the comments below. We'll take a quick break, but overall, I think it's a good concept. I think it's great to bring people to the game, but again, it depends on how it's used, how it's marketed. And the last thing I want is Borley making it. What's his name?
Yeah, Todd Boehly.
Todd Boehly. I just don't want it to be like a massive scheme for him to make money.
Actually, before we do go to that break, I was reading about an approach that I think it was the Major League Baseball owners come together and they say, we're each going to make 50 million collectively. And so whatever they do, they put in place that every single, I don't know if it's owner or club, that I'm not too sure, but so everyone evenly makes that same amount of money. Because obviously that's an obscene amount anyway.
Yeah.
I wonder if, maybe his mentality and his sort of the input he's having is going to be that same approach in the Premier League. I feel like there's probably a bit too many clubs. I don't know how many Major League teams there are either, but I wonder if that's the approach here.
American owners are, you can see with Venezia United, American owners are a bit, controversial.
Yeah.
Of course, Venezia, all about identity, all about medium, all about imagery. Yeah. It's all about their identity, and that's what the owners want to do. They've signed up all these new people, American people, come down, promote the game, and Venezia is known to be the more fashionable club.
Yeah.
And we're seeing what's happening with the Glazers and their issues there, the financial. They've literally made more profit than actually put money into the club.
Yeah.
So we're seeing that. Then we're seeing with Bowley and Chelsea and the whole sort of reflex and the changing of the way Chelsea is used and going to America, promote the team. Is a weird way. And then, of course, now we're seeing with Wrexham and Rob and, what's his name?
Actors.
Bloody Deadpool. Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. I literally love Ryan Reynolds. I don't know why I said that, but I've been watching that. I don't know if you've seen the doco on Disney Plus.
No, not yet.
Really good. And to see how they're dedicated to giving these Welsh fans their club back.
Yeah.
Good play. So overall, we'll see what happens. But again, Americans love to make money.
Yeah, I think so. Look, I think that there's this sense of like infiltration when an American buys a club or an American franchise buys a club.
Sorry, Ryan Reynolds is Canadian.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, either way. But I feel like that there's like this sense that the club needs to be owned by someone local.
Yeah.
And I get that, but if they're going to bring money into the club to promote it, to do better things, what's the problem?
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like, just think about it. Every club in the world has an owner, or like, of course, some clubs like Sao Paulo and they're owned by the fans.
Yeah.
But like, there is people behind these clubs that we never know. Unless you're the Greek guy who owns Nottingham Forest and spends so much money to replace the entire squad. That man literally just spends so much money.
Who else does he own? There's a Greek club he owns as well.
Olympiacos?
Possibly.
I think he bought the club because of red and white type of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Classic.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's take a quick break. I don't know how long this one will be, but yeah, we'll see you soon.
Bye. Back soon. Don't trip on the ball.
The brand new Mbappe signature Nike Zoom Mercurial Superfly 9s have just been released at Ultra Football. They have a luxurious vibe with a special swoosh and diamond KM logo. This model has taken a visual facelift from the launch edition, rocking a berry-coloured base and gold logos with a subtle all-over pattern that is worn exclusively by Kylian Mbappe himself. Grab yours now at ultrafootball.com.
Sorry, discount.
I knew you were going to do that. All right, so quick break. We checked our phone. We'll check that later towards the end.
Yes.
Make sure it's recording. Make sure it's recording. That's going to be a classic thing we say every time.
Yes.
Okay, so I was watching the Spurs game review, the replay this morning. And the one thing I want to say to a lot of people and ask a lot of people on this video, what are your thoughts on the goalkeeper versus player penalty situation? Do you think that goalkeepers are sort of criticised or even penalised too much in the scenario of a penalty than the actual players?
I'm going to say no, and I'm going to say purely because when you're given a penalty, it's a punishment for doing something wrong.
Well, wasn't the goalkeeper's thing? Could be a defender's problem.
Yeah, but that's
actual
the game sense situation.
Aside from the actual foul or incident that causes you to have a penalty,
Yeah.
it's like a free kick. Yeah, it could be a stoppage of play by the ref, and he's given a free kick. Player shoots from 30 yards. You're not going to blame the goalkeeper. So let's just take away the incident that's caused this penalty,
Yeah.
and it's just a penalty. Now, even the World Cup like sort of penalties when it's like the actual shootout or even a final shootout, whatever. Goalkeeper versus player. Now, who gets criticised more? Who here is a lot more under the thumb or under the vision of the ref?
Look, the goalkeepers are obviously a lot more restricted, but I still think the circumstance is important. I think the fact that there is a foul, I don't think you can discredit the fact that there's something gone wrong to be in that situation. So, like, say the defender makes the foul, that's putting his keeper under that stress, which puts him in the restricted environment now. So that's why I feel like you can't take away from whatever incident has happened. But in saying that, like exactly like you're saying, keepers cop it. There's no ifs or buts. Like striker can essentially do anything he wants, or the person taking the penalty, anything he wants as long as he doesn't stop.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the actual, like, the 10 seconds that these two have to take it. So the second the ball's put down, the goalkeeper is restricted on the line now. That's the new rule, the line. They can't take 1 foot off.
Yeah.
Has to be 1 foot on the line, when the penalty is about to be taken. Until the ball is hit, that's when they are allowed to move. Yes, okay, some goalkeepers may have a reach of each side, but the distance, what is it? What's the distance?
12 yards.
Yeah, the distance between the ball and the goal. And some of the players, the power they put on this shot, there's not enough time. And of course, we've seen some amazing saves. Of course, Lloris saving the first shot and then Tiemann scoring the second one. But I just think it's unfair to see some players a couple of weeks ago, I posted on Twitter, this player had gimmicked his whole way to the ball.
Yeah.
He stuttered. He did a few left and rights, fake kicks, stops there, one leg up, one leg down, and then kicks it, and then misses it. And to me, I'm like, okay, if you're a footballer who's doing that to score a goal against a goal, come on, it's not that hard. You literally run up, kick a ball. If you miss it, that's just unfortunate.
But there is that mental pressure element too, because it's because of the whole situation that it's in. It seems like it's easier for the person taking the penalty, but there's this immense amount of pressure on obviously the game, the points at hand. The fact that if you miss a penalty, you're like an idiot. So there's a lot there that puts pressure back on the person taking the penalty as well. I
would rather take a good penalty in a sense of actually hit it and miss than actually do a gimmick and miss.
Well, man, this is the thing too, right? You're 12 yards away. You can some players can whack a ball above 80 k's an hour comfortably.
Haaland, any solid player, Ibrahimovic.
How is it possible?
Rashford's these players with massive quads. Yeah. But then you got the smart ones like Pirlo back in the days where they could just literally do a tap in.
Yeah.
Little
well, Georgie, look at Jorginho's technique flat out, just a pass.
There is literally too much disrespect to goalkeepers. I think the fact that they're restricted to the line, the fact that they can't do anything else that's, like they do a save and then it's like, oh, ref, retake it, then goal. Yeah. It's just unfair.
Well, what would you prefer to see out of a goalkeeper in that situation? You can't give them free rein because they can't approach the penalty spot because they can completely close the angles.
I reckon what the goalkeepers have right now is fine as long as they stop the players doing over-the-top shit.
Yeah.
If a player... Sorry about the noise, everyone. There's a truck next door. Bread Top is delivering new dough. But I reckon if the player is sort of limited to a certain amount of steps, say you've got 10 steps, so you're not doing this weird fucking LeBron James run down the court with his fucking powder in the sky. If he runs in, if they run in, take a shot, fair enough. But if you're stuttering, it should be an immediate turnover.
Yeah. No, I love the variance between penalty takers and penalties in general because I feel like there's so many mind games at play. You go to a penalty shootout again, that's different circumstance again, and then you see players doing things like taking their time. They'll send the wrong player forward. The goalkeeper's
over there walking back, talking to his goalkeeper. Yeah. That's totally fine. Doesn't bother me. I love the new latest trend where the penalty taker is there holding the ball, and
No, that's amazing. I love what you're about to get to. It's so
And
good.
then, like, he stands there and everyone's giving him shit. It's like, hey. And then another player comes in and takes the ball. And it's like, oh, shit, we gave the wrong player shit.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
But
gets pressure.
I know Australia did that with Redmayne, swapping in with Ryan. And he did that, a beautiful save against Peru for the World Cup. Great moment for him. But, of course, if Redmayne didn't save it, he would have been criticised. And everyone was criticising him.
100%.
I remember people were screaming, oh, my God, what are you doing with Andrew going on the goal?
Yeah.
But... the goalkeeper has literally a couple of seconds to make that save. He's not going to go into the crowd and start supporting the wrong team. It's like, come on, like this guy literally is only him. Players can do whatever they want. But I think if the players have the same ruling as a goalkeeper in a sense that they're limited to a certain amount of things, totally fine.
I wonder if there's other sports, like I'm thinking about other codes that, or anything that have penalties and what the rules are.
The basketball, the tech foul.
Well, have you seen like NHL? Keeper has like no room to move, but basically can't skate.
Oh, and
Yeah, and then the player has like a halfway run up. It's essentially similar to those old MLS penalties. Would you prefer to see the MLS penalties than current penalties?
I love those. They were weird. But I still reckon that was way too... Again, Americans just trying to do their best to promote something weird.
Yeah, it's nice. I liked it. I thought it was funny.
I enjoyed it.
I wouldn't have it replace penalties.
No.
But I would love to see a tournament where it's like, say if the MLS used it still, that would be cool because it's like, that's their thing. They're, a little bit different.
Governing body, everything has to
Yeah, I
follow.
know.
Unless you're playing like the 5th Division Nicaragua or something.
I wonder if there's like a pro churches league that would do it or something.
We'll ask Ryan.
Yeah.
But look, I think overall, goalkeepers, players need to have the same respect in that moment. No disrespectful things. Yes, you can gimmick. Yes, you can do all this, but do it in a way that does not look stupid.
Yeah.
Don't run up, stutter, and then the goalkeeper's just like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Let us
So-
know in the comments below.
Yeah, let us know what you think. I'm interested to see what everyone's view on the whole goalkeeper.
Definitely going to be against me.
No, I don't think so. I reckon you might have some goalkeepers on your side. So to probably our favourite topic and one of the OG topics for us between your shirts is about collecting. We had some. Oh, to be honest, we tried so many different thrift stores and things like that here and just had no luck. And we talked about how it was compared to the UK, absolutely redundant almost. You obviously had a pretty good whack on the weekend hitting up Camberwell Market. How did that all go?
I love Camberwell Market. There's not many markets in Victoria or even Australia. I know we've got Sydney and we've got a certain one where we see a certain seller, but in Melbourne, Camberwell Market. So if you are from Victoria, go check out Camberwell Market. There's always this one. Actually, don't, because then you'll take all my kids. There is this one seller that I always go to, and I bought that. Was it the Lazio shirt that you had for me?
Yeah.
Beautiful, really good. When I first saw it, I was like, "What is this doing here?"
Yeah.
Undersold it to me for $15.
Yeah.
Beautiful. How much did we sell it? 180. Good profit.
It was up there.
whatever
You cleaned up on it. Which was good.
Amazing
Yeah.
profit. I know there's other sellers overseas were selling it for big money. Great shirt. And then I keep going. I've bought a few jerseys from these sellers. And then I went there on the weekend. The seller wasn't there, but it was someone else. And I was like, oh, I'm going to check this out. I saw a 92 green Adidas Germany jacket. Now, of course, I checked the tags. Legitimate. I saw the price tag, $185. Now, I don't carry cash on me. Cash is obsolete. If you're using cash, you're definitely way behind. Like, you're 20 years way behind.
No cash here.
Do not use cash. It's like, again, I know everyone's going to be like, oh, but you're a futurist. It's like not about anything about futurism or anything like that. Cash is just obsolete.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things now. Like, to be honest, after getting robbed the other day, I don't carry cash anymore. So.
No, honestly, like cash to me is a dead currency. I think now globally, people are going to come at me and be like, oh, you're a futurist again. I don't care. But I didn't have $185. Yes, I could have gone to Woolworths or Coles or anywhere near me and gone and cash out. But I asked the other seller, I'm like, hey, do you have PayPal? They're like, yeah, sure. I transferred in $40. Easy like that.
Yeah,
Purchased the kit, went home. 185, biggest regret. I said no. I said to my wife, I'm going to go bargain it. The wife was, even Chantal watching this, she'll be like, I told you to go. I didn't buy it. And I went home and I regret it.
Buyer's remorse. Instant buyer's remorse.
Man, I put a call out. I'm like, did I make a bad decision? Everyone said yes.
Yeah, huge mistake.
Oh, man, I wish I bought it. I know you're selling the white one.
Yeah, we had that in stock a while ago, but I'd seen them like in the UK. What the hell is this jacket doing here for one in Australia?
What's it doing with this random seller who doesn't sell football jerseys?
Yeah. Like, this is the whole thing about PFC is the fact that there's not many other places in Australia that have this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When this pops up at a market and you see it, you look at it online, UK market selling it for £260.
But I couldn't find the green one anywhere. I know Colt Kids had a black one, you had a white one,
Yeah,
but the green
green
one,
is crazy.
I saw I think the only one I found was someone was selling it with rupees.
Wow.
I don't. What's rupees?
Indian rupee.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was like, this is the only website that has a green. Of course, there was a few photos. It was hard for me to identify. I had a few people that noticed us, like me. They're like, oh, you're mates with PFC. Oh, you're the kid seller guy. I'm like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. It was really good. Like, it really made me. My wife was like, oh, yeah, come on, pump it up. But like, we spoke and we had this. You'll see in my photo I posted. There's two kids behind there, one in the green jacket, one with the hoodie.
Yeah.
So the hat, and we spoke about it. And one of the guys' partners, she said to me, how do you know all this? I'm like, well, the internet's the best place to check. So I checked if it was legitimate. It was all good. The white stripping was on the black one, wasn't on the white one. So that kind of got me confused. The tag on the inside, the one that Cold Kids had, the black one, had the full Adidas one.
Yeah.
But the one that you were having had the one that I had.
Yeah, different manufacturing locations is like basically the
Man,
go-to. So it's hard to tell.
185, I regret it. I'm hoping it's there next week, but biggest regret. Of course, in the comments below, let us know what's your biggest kit regret.
Yeah.
There was that one time the Inter Milan, remember?
Oh, I know. What kit was it?
It was the Nike remake of the Umbro.
The horizontal stripe, like
Inter
navy
Milan.
and like grey kind
Yeah,
of.
the one that Adriano made famous. It was like
that's
$200.
such a
Didn't
nice
buy
kit.
it, and now I haven't seen one.
Yeah, since they're so hard to find.
Those two, the Umbro and the Nike, are my all-time.
Yeah, the 97. Those horizontal striped Inter shirts are sick.
Those two are my next. If you do have it, please sell them me because I don't want to regret it. But that was definitely my biggest regret.
Yeah, I completely empathize with that, and I think so. Which is a kind of a good segue. So we reached out to Instagram and or socials really, and pitched to people to ask us some questions. So
We'll do this more often.
yeah, I think this has been fun. We Arthur from Le Jersey. I won't say Arthur or Arthur. But
Le Jersey, yeah.
yes, he's gone. So kit regret you
said that?
of not buying, and then one you regret selling.
What's you? You're the one that sells a lot.
Oh man, there's a lot. I reckon I had a long sleeve Dortmund 96. I think it was the away kit,
Did we use
black.
that for the photo shoot?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
With Emma.
Yeah.
And that was
remember that one.
Yeah, so that's one that I like. I think I flirt around on socials a lot purely because I have this like regret of it. I regret selling it. So that is definitely one.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the main one, only because it was like my size, it fit nicely, and now I'm sort of like, oh, I don't have it anymore. bit depressing.
I don't have a kit regret for selling. Good question though. There's a few jerseys in my collection now that I'm like, I'm gonna pass on in the future, and I think I'll regret it. I've got that onesie that they wore, the Cameroon.
Yeah.
I have that in my collection. I asked our old friend from False 9 Mag, Soccer Mag, to purchase me something overseas and sent that to me. I reckon at the moment I dislike it, but if I sell it, I reckon I'll regret it.
Okay, that's an interesting one. So do you reckon you regret buying any kits then?
Oh, definitely. There's so many kits I look at my collection and I'm like, why? I think it was that USA long sleeve one. It's the difference. It's a different make. I think it's a South American make.
Yeah.
And I think the money I spent on that, I wasn't that much, but I still regret it. There's so many kits in my collection. I'm like, I could have saved that, and I reckon now I could have spent it on others.
Yeah. I think if you look back, I feel like looking back in retrospect, it's always sometimes easier to say, yes, I want that, or no, I don't. So like, current kits come out and everyone gets excited about the release.
Great.
Whereas
yes.
I feel like we could always go back and be like, you know what, I can always find the 2020 kit. It's not that hard to find. Yeah, people will sell them at some point.
It's funny you say that. Okay, so this is off topic, but this is to anyone listening, watching this right now. Do not feel pressured to buy. I think we spoke about this every episode. Do not feel pressured to buy a jersey. On Twitter, I see a lot of collectors being like, I got this new jersey, now I got 6 more to go. It's like, yes, good for you to collect, but don't pressure others to get.
No.
Like, I know we post, and of course you're a seller and I'm a collector, and we talk about it every day. We promote new jerseys and old jerseys, but I don't think there should be a pressure for anyone to collect, to buy, to sell, to do anything. If you are in a financial stable position to buy, do it. But do not pressure yourself, or do not get pressured to buy into it.
No, I think it's I was speaking to I was speaking to a collector the other day, and he asked me if I knew where I could find if anyone had the new Japan shirt. And he was specifically looking for a long sleeve. And he said the only place that he found it was eBay, as from a reseller, listed it for $220.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that's almost $100 more, $80 more than what you would pay for it retail. And he's like, what do you think? Should I get it? I said, don't even bother. Like, give it a few months. By the time the World Cup's around, most retailers will either have stock or it'll be out online somewhere for someone that bought it, doesn't want it, doesn't fit them anymore, and you'll get it for probably $80.
100%. Like, I've seen so many Socceroo jerseys from the past.
Yeah.
They were like over $200, $300, because of course they're a commodity now.
Yeah.
And then you sent me that one. It was like £60 or something.
Yeah,
I bought it.
jumped.
I was like,
Yeah.
I've saved myself $150 by waiting.
Yeah.
by waiting for a jersey. I think I did that last year too. Again, don't stress too much about authentic or even fan spec. Just buy whatever fits for you. I bought a lot of fan specs, and I regret not buying the player spec. It is what it is, but I've saved money, and that money that I save, I can spend on myself, my wife, and my daughter.
Speaking of specs, actually, recent pop-up we had, it was a mum and her son came up, and I had a Liverpool candy shirt there. And obviously, it's a super rare shirt, so it's a lot more expensive than a lot of the other kits that we sell. The mum was like to her son, who would have been probably 13, maybe 12, thereabouts, "Oh, I just bought you this shirt last week. It was only $100. Why is it so much more expensive here?" And I said to her, I'm like, "Oh, where did you buy it from?" And I think she said like Alibaba or DHgate or one of those like websites or one of those like,
Eternal screaming.
Yeah, I know. I can feel the pain. So she's obviously bought a fake shirt. Unless she's found like an absolute gem on Facebook or eBay or whatever. Her son came out and said, no, mum, that was a fake one. Guys, please, if you're going to buy a fake shirt, that's completely on you, fine, but do not pay $100 for it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you can buy them from anywhere for like $15. It's an absolute rip if you're getting paid, if you're paying more than that. Not that I'm promoting that. I'm against that culture, but just don't get ripped off. Like, if you're going to pay for crap, at least get it for cheap.
Financially, again, like if you need to buy fake shirts, you're doing whatever you can to survive in
enjoy life and whatever. Yeah.
But again, think about the landfill. Think about the rubbish you're creating. Think about all the people you're supporting in the negative zone. I think that's the biggest problem. I think the last thing I'll touch on basis on the whole Alibaba and DHK. Again, what are you doing buying shit off there? I know if you're buying other things, but just avoid helping black market sellers. It's the one thing that you need to watch out for.
Yeah, be very careful. And there's a lot, especially in Australia. There's a lot that operate. So
we're close to Asia.
Yeah. So just be careful in that front.
And last topic on that, of course, again, with the remakes and stuff again. Like, I am wearing the beautiful Spew Kit remake. Mm-hmm. There is no badge on it for manufacturer because they can't remake the Kangaroo or Adidas jerseys when they're a Nike-sponsored team. So you're supporting the sort of FA on this. This is more respecting the financial side of the FA, helping them build and pay, for the youth, the players, Matildas, or Socceroos. Yeah. But if you're buying score draw kits from the actual club or any places like Pro Direct, you're basically supporting, again, a remake of a jersey that's not going to support anyone.
No. I would have loved to see Nike get around that kit.
Well, they did with the women's, Matildas, for the World Cup in France.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like all these re-releases and the Centenary kit, I would have loved to see Nike around.
There's a lot of legal things, colour. We're talking about upstairs where it's like they probably don't have the legal rights to that sky blue colour.
Okay.
They probably don't have the legal rights to do. I think each year some clubs will have like sort of a buy and buy it for Pantone's colours for the jerseys, and that's the hardest part. What is the next question? Because I don't make this episode too long.
That's all right. Why don't South American leagues get more attention or respect?
Globally or in Australia?
Well, I think in Australia specifically, but let's just go with globally. I think over in South America they're probably obviously going to get the respect they deserve.
I think in Australia we don't give that much attention. I think when we get South American players in the league, a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah.
We always forget that Messi's from Argentina, so a great sort of promotion for the league, for the countries, that is. In the US, they definitely compete against each other in sort of different competitions.
Close proximity, right?
You get me? There's a beautiful sort of football across the thing, but I just don't think the South American leagues, like I love watching Boca Juniors, but of course I have a Peruvian team, Alianza Lima, Atlético Nacional in Colombia. Then you've got all other teams like Olympiad. You got Colo Colo, Corinthians, like so many teams.
Yeah.
The biggest problem, of course, is they can't sell the jerseys in places like Ultra because of legal reasons. So that's the hardest part. You don't have that promotion of the league.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part is it's just no one has the rights for their games to be shown.
That's the challenge. I feel like maybe it's a supply and demand kind of issue more so because, we get the Premier League here because there's a lot of people that are interested, right?
Expats, everything.
Yeah, correct. So, and I don't think there's the same volume of people to warrant like, Optus Sport, like they took La Liga, paying for the rights for, a South American league like, say Argentina or, Brazil or something. I would love it. We're both obviously, big football heads, and I'm a fairly big Boca Juniors supporter. So, I love seeing them win the Super Classico the other day.
Yeah.
And, it would have been amazing, but it's just so hard to get more demand here in Australia.
There is, again, you got to remember the population in Australia, the reason why we don't get connected to so many things. Again, there's little bubbles for every sport or every different type of club. Now, there is access to NBA, there is access to NFL, NHL, there is access to many other sports in Australia, but we don't watch them. But the other circles do. Like Danny the barista at Panenka, he was watching Gridiron, NFL, NFL. And we may not be aware that the game's on, but people are aware.
Yeah.
So if you are a South American football fan. You are watching it because that's your dedication.
Yeah.
You know, I put myself in my calendars. I put on when either United's playing or Inter Milan's playing. I do have some times where during the mornings or afternoon I can watch MLS. So
Yeah.
sometimes I chuck on Portland or I chuck on Boca Juniors. I think the hardest part is it's just more the TV. There's no promotion nonetheless, and it's up to you to sort of be able to find it.
Yeah, because I think the football's definitely good enough, right? Like, it's good enough to watch. It's great. It's an enjoyable
Who
atmosphere.
Suarez is there in?
Yeah. There's so much to like about it. I think it's quite literally just from a business and marketing side of things that we don't
Penarol.
get it.
There is groups. Penarol, Nacional. Yeah.
So thanks to, I don't know who sent that question in. Alon Grin, 22. Thanks, bro.
And any other ones?
No, that's all. That's the rest we've already covered. So
I know we've got a chat coming up. There's a bit of a launch happening in a couple of weeks here at Ultra. Pop up in a couple of weeks. New Jersey on my end. Hopefully we have something between us to,
hope so. It'd be nice to share.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
My phone keeps going off. It's my wife just spamming me.
But yeah, this next pop-up actually is going to be good. We've got False 9 Threads coming down from Queensland, I think they're from. And we've got Cold Hero FC as well from Sydney. So it's cool to collab again with a few more creators.
Oh, you have someone else coming?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Amazing. Anything else? No international break coming up. Hopefully get to see some nice football. Get to see
The kids. We'll see the kids out in action for the first time as well.
I get to be in Brisbane. Woo! So
fun with
next week's episode, I will be back from Brisbane. Really exciting things happening. So I definitely have some stories to tell.
Fun. It's going to be good to see.
Can't wait to see this in person. I think they'll be wearing one each home and away.
Yeah, surely they will for promo purposes.
Long episode. Make sure to follow him on PSC Vintage.
Please.
Make sure to follow me on Talking Shirts. Let us know in the comments below if there's anything else you'd like to see or hear. Any other shout outs?
No, we're good.
Fun facts?
Thanks to Panenka for the coffees mid-ep.
Yeah,
Again.
definitely. Stay safe. Stay away from stupid people.
See you later.
See you later. Bye.